be great to hear a bit more about this part of the process and some of the different challenges you had for the task of meeting these areas.
Yeah. So this area now, the start of this area, and then all the way down to our pot area. This is our big furnace section. So this is where we have what we call a DF section, direct fired section. We have a radiant tube section, then we have numerous cooling sections after that. It's all about basically heating that strip product up to the temperature we need so that it anneals correctly and also gets the temperature for the zinc to coat it at the end. So again, the biggest hazard we've got here really is gas hazards. We've got hydrogen, we've got natural gas, we've got nitrogen, lots of different gases, dangerous gases. And we originally used to have like a key access system that we used to have a key which would go into the gates. It would be attached to gas monitors, but it was never really a good. It's never really a good control for us because to go in a furnace, you need to be gas administering at Tata Steel plants, and there was no real tie-in between being gas administering and allowing access on the furnace. We looked at the Frank system as a good solution to that because it would use our standard cards to use to access plants and everything, and we could use them. We can tie their access into gas awareness training. So it meant that basically we could then stop people accessing who have either not got gas awareness training or have expired gas awareness training because we can set all the accesses to the 3-year type limit that they're set to. So when it expires, their card no longer works and they've got to go and get gas awareness training.
So the device we see before us allows us to enforce the two things that you were speaking about. So one, we need to still control access to these spaces. We've got the important element you highlighted, which we need to make sure that people who access these areas are authorised to do so. It'd be great to see a little bit of that operation.
Yeah. So like I've got a standard card. I've got a card because I have gas awareness training, so I can access. The gas areas.
Yeah.
So other people would be like you guys would, but my client would over there. So certain people will, and then you can access. So as long as you've got a good access card, you could just go there. It says open, says you allow access. So then I go into the area.
Yeah.
And then when I come back out the area, I just flash the card on this side, it opens it back up for me, and then it closes up basically. But if I put a card on there that was expired, or you put a random card on there, it would not open and you could not get into your gas added sections.
So we do that,
So
that would be wrong.
You were not registered on the system, so you can't go in.
So now on the pulpit, I guess, Gareth, it'd be great to hear, a comparison of how that authorization of access used to be administered and what that looks like now.
Yeah, so the old system was just us filling in a board, obtaining gas monitors from a room over there. So it wasn't really that well controlled. And probably during COVID became even worse because we moved a lot of the boards that were in here out of here. So there's even less interaction with the operators. So we wanted to look for something that was better. So we looked at this Frank access system, which now, like we explained, it keeps more of a live updated status of who's actually on the furnace or in the pot. And we've also got a pot basement area, which is monitored as well. So all these areas are monitored on plant to make sure that we know who's on there and we know that they've got authorization to be in those areas as well, which is key because it's tied into their gas awareness. So for us, is a much better way to control the area and just proves that we are controlling access better than our old system really.
Brilliant. And I guess what's really interesting is to hear over, a series of different projects, the things you've improved over time, whether it's different parts of your system, controlling about access to certain areas, or in this case, specifically focusing on the authorization or enforcing that training piece as well.
Yeah. And I think, we also good thing with the fact it's expandable quite easily as well. So we initially trialed it on our furnace, and then we moved also put it on our pot basement access, and then we've also moved it now to our pot area access around the robot. So, and we have got plans to move it further and further as well. So it's fairly easy to expand for us, in the area. It's not too difficult engineering cost-wise for us to do it. So we can just go so far and then say, oh yeah, okay, let's do a little bit more. So it's good for us, Iris.
That's great to hear. And I think you mentioned before, so when it comes to some of that installation, that a couple of choices that were made when designing this solution in terms of that cabling and using Power over Ethernet in particular.
Yeah, so particularly the access into the robot cells. We particularly want to use like a PoE option there, because this area is quite hazardous with regards to zinc particularly, so we wanted to make sure that we had minimal cabling, so PoE was a good option for us there really. So we just got one single cable coming from each unit.
That's great to hear. It's a nice summary there of, I guess, how some of those tasks or challenges have changed and been addressed, but again also how some of that configurability has helped, hopefully, for Fortress to fill some of those solution needs. And it's great to be here in the pulpit to see some of that system at work, that Drossig robot doing its tasks, as well as tracking the people that are having access to that wider area as well.
Yeah.
So today we've taken a closer look at how Tata Steel Clan Wen has used the Fortress Frank system as part of enforcing their permissions and controlling access to certain areas. Tata have been able to make sure that only people who have performed that training are then granted permission and allowed access to certain areas. We've also seen how in the control room, some of that information about who's requesting access can be made visible, so it's available to those teams. Thank you very much for watching this Fortress case study. Please feel free to take a look at our website or get in touch if you have any questions.